Hello. I don't think we've been introduced. I'm the Doctor. I'm a time traveler. I look younger than I should be, I suppose. It's a TARDIS illusion. Makes your brain all wobbly. Now, I have a question for you. Do you want to see something awesome? Come with me. Come on, don't be shy. This is the TARDIS. This is where I do all my work. And this is also which makes me go to space and time. Now, do you want to know how to make your own? Ha! I knew you'd say that. I just knew you'd say that. Now, I'll just do some wiggles on these buttons, and we're ready to... Yep. Afraid so. Well, the materials you're going to need for this trip are carton. A lot of carton, like 3 or 4 packaging boxes. And you're going to need a set of acrylic, maybe more grey and gold. And you're going to necessarily need a lot of masking tape. Also get like plastic cover about 4 feet length. And don't forget the cellophane. Get the colors green, blue, red, and orange, and the rest of the colors. And don't forget the basic materials like pencil or marker, or glue, or super glue, and scissors, and cutters, and it's a lot, etc., etc. And that's all I got from the transcript. Back to the Doctor. So, what do you say? Now first, we start with the boxes. Now what I've got here is a 20-inch carton, width and length. And for me, this is kind of small, so I'm gonna stretch it till the end of one side. And that adds up like 8 inches to the width. Now I have a problem with the length. It's kind of too long, so I've decided to cut it by here. Now my style here to make a perfect diagonal from bottom to top is to use a ruler. Use it to mark on each side, both 8 inches. This leaves about 12 inches left on the top middle. Now cut it out with a cutter or scissors. Make sure to not throw whatever remains of it. You might still be able to use it. Anyway, when you finally cut that out, mark the same shape on the other cartons to make 5 more pieces. Remember, make 6 pieces. Now we are going to mark all the pieces we cut out from each of the 6 sides of the TARDIS console. First, I draw some details on it to make sure I don't cut it to that part, because it's important in the future. Now for one side, that part sort of looks like this. So we are going to cut out a circle in the middle. Use a big blade to mark a perfect circle. For the second piece, there's sort of a small rectangle box on the top, so mark that. Now this is a hard one, the TARDIS telepathic circuits. Basically, just get a picture and copy the same thing on the carton. Now for this piece, there is a squarish thing going on here, just also copy it from the picture, and mark it out. And for the last piece, we draw sort of a big oblong for the monitor that shows the universe. Now if you think you miscounted, don't worry, you didn't. The 6th side of the TARDIS console needs no cutting out. Now, I have a style to cut out the square looking holes. The thing is, you cut all the sides, the top, the left side, the right side, but what you don't cut is the bottom side. What you do there is you don't cut it, pull it backwards, and make some walls around it. Now, the other squarish one is more difficult, but you just do the same thing basically. Now after that, the next step is to tape them all together until it forms a TARDIS console. Here is the pattern. When you come in through the TARDIS door, the first part you see is the one with the oddish square. Then on its right is the perfect circle hole. And on that's right is the table with no cutouts. Then next is the one with the perfect rectangle box. And the next is the TARDIS telepathic circuits. And the last is the one with the oblong hole. Then tape it back with the one you started with. Now before we attach any details on it, we first paint it with gray. Now I actually only have spray paints of gray, so I'll just spray on it. Now if you manage to cleanly cut off the circle out of the perfect circle, well then well done, get it and draw some Gallifreyan gears and wheels on it. Then get the right size of blue cellophane and attach it on the TARDIS console from behind. Then make 4 pieces of sort of looking Band-Aid tapes and put it on 4 sides of the gear drawn carton. What I meant on Band-Aid looking is that the tape's middle side isn't sticky because you covered it up. Anyway, attach it on the blue cellophane. Make sure the drawing is facing the hole. So when you're done, you can flash the flashlight down there and it lights up with gears. Now redetail all the corners and squares perfectly with a ruler, or if it's easier for you, just copy what the TARDIS console looks like on the picture. Now when you're done, get a bunch of white plastic bags and cut it open from the sides. Then scotch tape it behind the TARDIS telepathic circuits. And then get all the cellophane and cut up small parts out of it and place them on top of the opened up plastic bags. Then when you're done, simply scotch tape them all around so it won't fall off easily. Now when you're done with that, you can now also light up the flashlight underneath to look like a telepathic circuit. Basically, the point of the flashlight is if you have the budget to put light under the console, put light under the console. Anyway, we are going to make the lever that starts the TARDIS now. So cut up 2 pieces of long carton strips and a small rectangle you can roll up and attach it on one end of each strip. Here, I basically kind of bended the strip into 2 parts. Now, you kind of cut up the end of each strip narrower. When that's done, cut off 2 small squares and cut off a sort of line on the middle coming from its top. Then attach it onto the narrow end of the strip. Tape it to make sure it doesn't come off. Now place those levers on where they should be on the console of the TARDIS. It's on the side with a small box at the top. Anyway, attach the ends by taping them on each side. Make sure the levers are movable or they're useless. Although, if you take my opinion, I would rather paint it first. The handles are gold and the strips are gray for metal. And now, to make the thing that covers it up, the thing, well, whatever, you'll figure it out later. Anyways, make a half-drawn circle from carton, duplicate it once, and cut up a fat strip, bend it into a sort of letter U, and see if it is as long as the half circle when you stick them together. Now cut off 2 thin strips with the same length as the fat one, then attach them on each of the half circles. Now paint them all black, including the fat strip. Now let's get back on the console. The half circles go on each side of the levers. Tape it from the inside. Then attach the fat strip between the 2 levers. Also tape it from the inside. Now, do you notice in the TV series, before I pulled the main lever to teleport, I pulled this other lever before that. The lever that goes sideways. Anyway, we are going to do just that. So draw a perfect circle. You can use a teacup plate or just use a roll of tape like what I'm doing here, and then cut it off. Now on the console, you use that same side with the other lever, and mark a hole on the corner of the console side. And then also mark a hole on the center of the small carton circle. Now make sure that both holes are the same size. Now duplicate the same circle and cut it in half. Then cut off a really long thin strip of carton. Then tape it all around the half circle as the wall. Then attach it on the full circle. Now roll up a thick piece of paper and use it as a bar that holds the full circle by the hole. Then cut off a big fat strip of cotton and roll it up into a lever. Now a little tip from me. Kind of cut a small open hole on one end of the lever so the bar that holds the full circle has space to be attached with the lever. Now tape the lever attached to the circle. And then the final thing, cover up the end of the lever with a thick piece of paper to look like a handle. Then basically, color the whole thing gold, but color the handle black and the rest of the lever gray.
Now I'm gonna draw details on it, sort of a pulp on an orange looking details. Now poke the pole back into the hole and Bob's your uncle. Alright, now here, I made up some random things I noted down from the picture of the TARDIS console. I made 4 gold faucets, a gold knob, and 5 sort of paddle looking things in different colors. And I assumed that the TARDIS console is gonna have a lot of colorful buttons, so I painted a big piece of carton in different colors. So all I'll have to do is cut them off in any button shape I like. And I noticed that in the original TARDIS console, they have tons of buttons colored red, so I've decided to paint more cartons red. So to make it easier for you, this is all at random. So basically, just get a photo of the TARDIS console to note down where what goes. Oh, and plus I drew more details than what I filmed, so it's up to you what details you want to add up. Now we are going to make the stabilizer levers, or whatever it is they call it. So cut up an oblong looking thing from the carton, then mark a hole to poke in a carton bar. Then of course, cut it out. Then duplicate it with the same details. Now we are going to make the lever bar. Lengthen it with the oblong to make sure it is much more longer than them. Then cut it out and roll it up. Now roll up a sort of pole from the carton that you will use to go through the holes on the oblongs. Then, when you pass it through the first hole, make a hole that goes through the end of the lever bar. Then pull it through the other side and push the other oblong in. Now find your own way of sealing it onto the oblongs. Now, paint it. The lever is basically gray, the oblongs that hold the lever are black, and the other end of the lever is colored red. Now when it dries, attach and stabilize the levers on one side of the TARDIS console according to where the picture of the TARDIS shows. Anyway, use double-sided tape, or if it's okay, use super glue. So here's a little trick to paint a universe onto the cellophane. Basically, get a cellophane that fits the whole oblong hole on the TARDIS console and use a regular size paintbrush and paint starting from the center and drag it in a curved up way all around the cellophane. Then when it dries, tape it on the oblong hole from behind. Now when you're done detailing it, we are now going to make the center of the TARDIS. So get a big piece of carton, get the size of the hole on the center of the TARDIS, and cut it out. And to not have a hard time about it, make it overlap a little bit. Now get the plastic cover out and use about 4 feet length and width. Then cut out a thick long piece of carton with the same length. Then use that to form a circle, and mark that circle on a piece of carton and cut it out. Anyway, when you're done with that, put the carton on one end of the plastic cover from behind and tape it on. Then duplicate the carton and do the same on the other side. Now tape the ends together. And then scotch tape the plastic coverings together themselves. Now when you're done with that, get the length of the whole thing, including the cartons, and use it on a big long piece of carton. Now roll it up and tape them together. Make about 6 pieces of it. But if that's too hard, you can lower the number down, but 3 is the top, don't ever go lower than 3. Now when you paint it, paint like 1/3 of the pole gray and also 1/3 of the pole gray on its other side. The middle should only be painted orange, or if you want it to be the 11th Doctor's TARDIS, then make it green. Now when that dries out, also paint the cartons on the end of the plastic covers gray. Now for the platform of the TARDIS, make a sort of carton table legs underneath it, then paint the top of the platform gray. And now we are going to make the TARDIS console monitor. So basically, mark the carton sort of like this. And add some handles on the sides, and then cut it out. Now fold the ends and tape them together to form a box. Then bend the handles. Now you paint it. The screen of the monitor should be blue or green so you can use green screen on it. And for the rest of the monitor, paint it gray. Now while that dries out, super glue the orange poles on the circle carton. Make it equally balanced. And then slip in the plastic cover and tape it with the circle. Now on the hexagon platform, attach the monitor on it with super glue or tape. Then also super glue the console center on the center. And then seal it. Ask a friend to help you out with this because believe me, it's hard. And also make the console center attached to the hexagon equally balanced. And Geronimo, your TARDIS console is complete! Ha! Congratulations!
Hello, Clara. No, I don't have time talking. I'm on my way to Siberia. There's something going on there. Yes, sorry. Almost forgot you were here. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good day and good luck with whatever it is you're doing. Now, do you mind? Because I need some space here. Leave. Can you press that thing on the monitor? Can you press it? Just do it. I ask you to do one thing. And you can't even do it right. Why can't you do one thing right? Goodness. Oh, now what's this rubbish? Everything around. That's right. Go now. Oh, do you mind? Can you leave? Alright. How about this? How about I take you for an adventure? Eh? Fancy it? Well then let's hit the road!